Folks, we're back. James, Mike, Marcos, Sports Scientist Podcast. Welcome back, guys.
Marcos, you were telling us a story. Please tell the viewers a story about beef, fitness industry steak.
Oh, the guy who created the BOSU ball, Wank, Coach Wank, whatever the fuck his name is, has...
What a wanker.
Yeah. I think it's W-E-N-K, I believe.
Close enough.
Has beef with my buddy Dr. Pat Davidson because Pat Davidson believes that the BOSU ball is a fucking gimmick and a pile of shit. And it has no place in any gym. And I guess the creator of the BOSU ball found out, and he posted some Rocky Balboa type videos of him like tumbling into a battle rope, hopping over a chair into a BOSU ball kind of thing.
Whoa, impressive.
He's like, tell me the BOSU ball's wrong. Explain this. And he does a stupid BOSU ball workout.
No, but the guy looks like one of these like guys who's
he pulls out
homeless.
a BOSU sword and he's like, now what?
The guy looks like he's like a homeless dude on meth. Like someone's dad who's like, hey, dad, you could just live in the garage with all this gym equipment. He's like, all right. He's like super like fucking like.
You know, what you want to look like.
Crackhead
James, would a BOSU ball sword be a sword handle with a BOSU ball on top, or would it be a sword that's cut off halfway?
It would be like you'd have like a regular handle and then like a really shitty, flimsy like blade portion. That it just looks like it would more or less look
So
like a
dildo.
giant dildo, yeah.
Dildo sword.
Well, we can't all have real swords, I guess. You know what, man?
A dildo Sue.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't tell you. So, like my old rugby team that I used to play with, the Chicago Riot, we had our team, unofficial team mascot was a giant big black dildo named Jeffery, and we put like a Mr. Potato Head face on him.
Oh my God, James!
And we
you
would
can't
bring
say
it.
that shit on.
We would bring it. No, I was like, you know what I mean. It's exactly what you think I'm saying. And we would bring it to the bars and stuff, and it was like stick it on stuff, and it would just be flopping around.
Dude, if I was a bar owner, I'd be like, could you guys get the fuck out of here?
That's what would happen. We would get kicked out all the time for having this shit. We'd be like partying, and they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. And be like, oh, all right, on to the next one.
Oh my God. Marcos, remember that time when, there's somebody behind you. I think it's an assassin ready to kill you.
That's Julia trying to kill me.
Remember that time, Marcos, when I was like, hey, let's go out and party in New York. And you were like, yeah, but I only go out if my dildo comes with me. And I was trying to explain to you for like 90 minutes how, like, bro, like, bouncers, the club, she's not going to understand. Like, if you had a purse, maybe, then I search that. Remember that?
I guess it works when your last name is Hoffman.
Oh,
Yeah.
why are you throwing it back at me?
German privilege.
Oh, come on.
I can't walk around with a fucking dildo in my fucking purse. But apparently you can.
Stop and frisk.
We didn't like pull it out of it wasn't like mine. It was the team's. It was our
Oh, community.
Yeah.
Who was tasked with actually carrying it around, though? You feel me?
You know, that's the thing. It would always just kind of pop out, and everyone would be like, "Oh, Jeffrey!" It was just would show up, and I don't know.
You named it.
Somebody clearly had it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just
Who named it?
Well, that's a story for another day.
Oh boy. Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go to some questions, folks?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
All right. This one, start with Marcos on this. Our favorite orcish friend from Israel, Ido Dagul,
Oh, very nice.
who's actually a pureblood orc, believe it or not, says, Happy Passover. Thank you, I guess.
Shabbat shalom, brothers.
Shabbat shalom. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm supposed to be saying for Passover, that kind of shalom. Something Pesach. Yeah. Hell
Lashana
yes.
Tova.
Yeah.
Shan and
Word up.
Tovar and
All
Tozar. Yeah.
that. So far, 2020 has taken Kobe, burned down Australia, and got us all sick. What will the next 7 plagues look like? Marcos, we've been a sinful society. If you were God, not saying that you're not, what would the next several plagues at least be?
I only wanted one plague.
Cardi B album, another one.
Ugh.
Fuck me.
It's probably coming.
Well,
Did I take your one, Marcos? Did I take your one plague? She's Dominican, just
no.
like you, right?
Mm-hmm. From my neighborhood.
Really?
Legit from my neighborhood, yeah.
That's
I used to go to the same, my barber used to work in her mom's salon. And my barber still cuts like her uncle's and her grandfather's hair. True story.
That's cool. What's that? The like when you have
Yeah.
what's that called when there's like a
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So you're
Why
pretty
is that-
close to Cardi B.
You love You are a big fan of Cardi B. If I understand that correctly. James,
Anyway, I hope the next plague kills people with an IQ of less than 100.
Oh,
that's a lot.
Bye-bye.
Marcos.
I'm done.
Bye-bye.
Damn. What do you think it'll really be? It'll probably something because God never really does shit like that. Jared Feather and I were
Fucking
talking about
lazy
today,
bastard.
from the Bible. Remember, like the Egyptians, right? Yes, the Jews were enslaved allegedly. Fine, but like the Pharaoh and his crew were really the motherfuckers who was behind that shit. And then God was like, "You don't want to cooperate?" And the Pharaoh was like, "Yeah, what? Hold up, what?" And God was like, "The plague for everybody." What was the shit? Like locusts,
Frogs.
all the cattle died. Frogs, man, that's really not a plague. To be completely honest, frogs are harmless and adorable.
It's like slightly worse than hail, where it's like
better than hail. If a frog hits you on the head, it doesn't hurt you. Hail does.
I mean, a frog would hurt.
What kind of frog? Is it like a poisonous frog? Or is it like a fucking 5-MeO DMT dog?
Yo, you're like,
bufo.
thanks, God.
So-
Lick that shit. Shazam. What other plagues were there?
First of all, what happened to the Egyptian gods? Why
Oh
did
yeah, you're
fucking
right. Yo,
White
like,
Sky Daddy take over?
Exactly.
Where the fuck was Osiris?
Yo,
and Thoth and all these other
Abrahamic.
guys?
Dude, that's a great point. Abrahamic God or whatever. He was like, bam, plagues, and the Pharaoh's like, yo, Egyptian
He's like,
gods.
yo,
And
the Egyptians.
Anubis is all like, yo, man, that motherfucker punching out of my league. Fuck that. I'm gonna take a break.
Nah, they were at a fucking orgy party. That's what happened. They were like, we're gonna
Yeah.
go make more gods. All right, don't break anything while we're gone. White Sky
Yeah.
Daddy was like, I got you, fam.
Let me take over. He was just babysitting heaven while they were orgying, is what you're saying.
Can't take care of shit.
What other plagues were there? We got locusts, frogs, night blackness, nighttime. That was like not
And babies, I think.
they killed some firstborn.
The firstborn, that was part of the plague, right? Yeah.
Cattle was dead. We're up to 5. That sucks, man. You had whole investment
Flood?
in cattle dead.
Or drought.
Drought, what was that? Yeah, flood or drought, one of those for sure.
I don't know. Fucking war, famine, death, pestilence.
Herpes.
Herpes. Everyone just has like a mild form of herpes, but it's irrelevant because everyone has it.
Yeah.
Hey, I just have
Like,
to let you know I have herpes. And she's like, I do too. Remember the plague? Like, right, cool. Yo, that's sweet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't want to date or anything, but see where it goes. All right. Well, that's a good question. Are you farting, James, or do you just have your eyes?
No, I
closed
definitely was thinking about farting. My farts have been awful lately. I've been on mass phase, and it's like when you go to a sauna and people put water on the rocks to make it steam up. It's like that, except somebody put like eggs and hot dogs on the rocks. It's awful. Like I wake up and my room just smells like an egg sauna. It's terrible.
What does your wife think about this?
She gets really mad. Even if I have just like a little toot, she'll like run out the room. She's just like, no.
Yeah.
Yo, stop putting that poison in your body, man.
I know.
Yeah, Marcos, can you tell
Organic
James
food
what
only.
he's eating? What is he eating that's making his fart smell
It's
so
like
bad?
it's like kashi cereal.
What?
That's what's getting me.
Made
I
by a
swear.
corporation.
Mm-hmm. Too much fiber. It's delicious though.
Marcos,
No?
what should
Plastic
he
food.
be?
I don't put that poison. Yo, for real, you should be eating like acai bowls.
I love those. But then my shit's like purple for the rest of the day.
Mine
It
too,
gets
brother.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, like kiwis and like you should just go like
I eat those
fruitarian,
too.
just fucking pineapples.
Dude, I
I
get the
read on
big like
some holistic.
oh
I read on. Sorry, I'm back. I read on some holistic Instagram that pineapple fights corona, so you should triple your pineapple
dude,
consumption.
this has been like the peak of like charlatanness with all this corona shit when people are
I
like,
have never seen
you
anything
in
like
health, like make sure you're eating these foods so you don't get sick. It's like the worst of the worst.
That is
it. Oh,
really
this
true.
is all those people are having a fucking ball right now. This is their fucking time to shine.
Dude, so many other things just went to the wayside. Like people aren't talking about, like there were some hot topics prior to this, like gut health was one for a while. And now people are like, nope, immune health. Like everything's about immune, like da 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 da. And it just drives me nuts with all these fucking dickheads trying to pander all this nonsense.
I didn't send it to you, but I sent it to Mike. The sucralose intolerance now.
That's about it.
You take 4 tablespoons of sugar. You wait 4 hours, and if you're bloated, you're intolerant to fucking sugar. You're welcome.
That's it?
That's it. It's bad for you. No sugar.
People are really running out of ideas of what to do with their quarantine time, huh? Fuck. All right. Derek from the Null asks, if I sell my soul to the Dark Lord in exchange for gains, am I still natty? That is
Oh, man. That's
an excellent question.
That's like a very Faustian question. God damn.
Yeah.
I guess so, because like he can give you like supernatural abilities that are technically not ergogenic aids or special sort supplements, right? So it's like you're still natty, bro. I'd give that to you.
Because he has the ability to alter nature.
Right. Exactly.
Marcos?
The dark side is natural.
Yeah. Don't hide them biceps. I know he got them shits.
Bow. Bow.
So, Marcos,
Bow.
what's Satan like in real life?
It's great.
He's great.
What was that? Mephistopheles was just. Oh, you guys didn't see him. Sorry.
I got you.
There.
Winky face.
Man.
But then like that's the ultimate like it's not even genetic privilege. It's like you were literally blessed by the gods. Should they be allowed to compete in regular sports?
That's a new privilege, genetic privilege.
New level of privilege. Yes.
Oh, my minority brothers, we got one. We got one on these people, guys.
Because minorities
have genetic privilege? No.
I mean, look at these. Come on, bro.
Damn,
you're gonna tell me
what are you doing? Jesus Christ.
What kind of isometrics do you do for those pecs?
I just squeeze for an hour and then I let go.
Looks like you got some like watermelons up in there.
Sexist piece of shit.
You honestly look like you have big ass titties.
Are you drinking soda, bro? No wonder your gut health is all fucked up.
I got my diet ginger ale to prevent for my immunity.
For your immunity.
Poison.
Man, can you imagine if you like get to the hospital and you're like sort of like recovering and they're keeping a watch on you and you're fundamentally like you're gonna be okay, but you're still kind of in a rough zone, and they like give you like food. You're like, are you hungry? Can you eat solid food? You're like, yeah. You're gonna give me immune boosting foods, right? They're like, yeah, for sure. It's the only kind we give here. Calories with nutrients in them.
Food tends to do that, but on its own.
Yeah. And here's some high school food. Here you go.
Yeah,
shitty prison fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Orange from like 1987.
You talking about hospital food?
Yeah.
Hospital food's great.
I love it.
What fucking hospitals are you going to? Oh, you people.
What are you talking about?
Y'all get that good food though, right?
James going Chicago hospitals, motherfucker. What you mean, you people?
You're going to that Mayo Clinic shit.
Mayo Clinic. Johns Hopkins up in this motherfucker. Got a private chef, grilled chicken in my room.
Dude, the hospital at that we went to when Mel's grandfather was in the hospital for a little while, they had a build your own acai bowl bar at that hospital. I was blown away. I was like, what? I'm just going to come here for acai bowls from now on. I'm going to the hospital.
Is out here. Marcos is out here doing the Century program, eating stale crackers underneath the fucking jail bed. James is out here.
Dog food tastes delicious.
It's cheap too.
Tastes just how it smells.
Yeah.
Did you see his new thing on Netflix?
I did. It was great.
It was
Dave
a new
Chappelle,
thing?
Mike.
Chappelle got like the Mark Twain Award for I think comedy or something similar. And
cool.
it was a Netflix
I love
special
Dave
on it.
Chappelle.
Damn, I
love him,
gotta get on that.
Yeah, it wasn't really he didn't really do that much comedy in the thing, but it's just kind of like a people giving him
Documentary
honor and
kind of
accolades.
thing.
Yo, James, question. Marcus, you might have seen this shit. Which Menendez brothers documentary did you watch? Because there was
There's like 100. Yeah.
Oh.
So I was on there's one on Hulu that's called it's like Menendez brothers it's like something like from Eric's own words or something like that.
I didn't see the Eric's own words one. We watched the other one. It was like the ABC special. Did you see that one?
I didn't watch that one. I only watched the Eric's own words one so far, and I still have like 1 or 2 episodes, I think.
Do you believe that, Marcos? You know about these motherfuckers, right? Yeah, they did some shit that if there was ever a time that was appropriate to do one of these, white people, they did that shit. Because goddamn, if you don't know who the Menendez brothers
What
are,
were they,
look it up.
Cuban?
No, they were white. Well, I mean, yeah, they're
No,
half
I
Cuban
think
or whatever.
yeah, half Cuban. Yeah.
Motherfucking Cubans are, first of all, half of Cubans are straight up white. Second of all, they're white. Look at them, they're white. The Beverly Hills, white. Anyway,
They were good looking guys. Well, they are
they
good
were
looking
so
guys.
good looking. Well, one of them, I think Eric was really good looking. I think Lyle, people said he was good looking. I was like, man, I'm not into toupees as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But in any case, they, do you, Marcos, believe their allegations of childhood sexual abuse by their parents? Or was that just something they made up?
I absolutely thought it was compelling. I believed it, but I don't think it's a justification for necessarily blowing somebody away. Right. But I think so like, I don't know how far you've gotten into, did you get to the second trial yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I thought was weird was that they like really restricted their ability to present that defense in the second trial, which seemed like a very like unfair thing. So
in the judge's defense, that's not a defense. That is, you're being charged with murder. You can say, hey, I did it.
But no,
here's some reasons.
They were stipulating that I forgot what it's called. There's a technical word for it, but they could have pled guilty, imperfect self-defense. So that was actually a tangible defense that they could have used, which was you legitimately fear for your life.
They didn't let them do that.
And it basically goes to manslaughter, I believe, if I'm not totally off. So you don't get off scot-free. It says like you did it, but it was like a little bit more understandable. So I thought that was weird, but yeah, you can't just like, there's other options. There's a part where the guy goes to like San Diego for the day and like they go and buy guns. It's like, okay, well you can just leave. You're already in San Diego. You can just go somewhere else.
Yeah. As soon as they killed their parents, they started spending the inheritance money like crazy, buying like Ferraris and Porsches and watches. And you're like, not exactly what grieving people do, but like, it just almost seemed like when they killed their parents, they had no compunction about like just being like, yay, they're dead. Like, let's go spend stuff. Like, even if you did murder them to get the money, you would think you'd be smart enough to be like, let's pretend we're grieving for a year or two. But
so I have to watch the one that you watched, because the one I watched, they did seem to be like pretty distraught. They went and got psychology help. They did. I did see that one.
I did see the psychology stuff. They did say in the courtroom, Eric starts crying like in a way that's very difficult to fake.
The psychologist also like tried to extort them when he like figures out that they had money. So he went and like confessed to a psychologist, and the psychologist tries to extort him, and then the psychologist ex-girlfriend extorts the psychologist and turns him over to the police.
Wow,
that crazy thing. Yeah.
Wow.
So the reason why the police got tipped off that they did it was because the psychologist's like crazy girlfriend, who was also his patient, was eavesdropping in on the conversation. On their private sessions, hears that they basically confess to this, and then tips off the police later, which is like hugely unethical.
I think it's one of these things where it's like Tiger King. There are no good guys in this.
Yeah,
everyone's fucked up. Like, they legit were pieces of. It's so funny because Crystal and I were talking about this a couple days ago when we saw the documentary. People always think, not always, people often tend to think binary, especially when it comes to victims. Either you're a victim that was a good person and righteous, and you were righteous in what you did, or you're an evil perpetrator, bad guy, and you were terrible and you had it all pre-planned. You can be both. Like, if Adolf Hitler's walking down the street and like young Adolf Hitler with all his plans to kill everyone, and a couple of guys jump him, beat the fuck out of him, like, he's going to cower and he's going to cry and he's going to be bruised, and you're going to be like, oh, but like, does that mean he is deserving of your sympathy? No, fuck no, they should have killed the guy, right? Then he's also a victim and a future perpetrator. So like the Menendez brothers or whatever, like people like, oh, because the hung jury on the first trial was because like one juror was like, oh, I think they like, because they were molested, like it's not murder. Like, it's still murder, motherfucker. They're still pieces of shit. They still killed their parents for the money, but they also happen to have been molested or whatever kind of bullshit. So I think it's interesting that people just don't really ever tend to think like you could be a victim and a piece of shit. Like, that's totally fucking possible. And I have no idea why you think it wouldn't, Marcos.
So I remember when the case was going on when I was a kid, because my mom was like,
you see, 40 already.
At least I didn't molest you.
Are you serious?
So, yeah, all the time, because my mom used to beat the fucking shit out of me. So she's like, go ahead. You want to try to kill us too? Go ahead. At least I never molested you. I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Thanks. It's very reassuring.
That's going to go back to talking to the wall.
I think people just generally have a hard time differentiating their morals and ethics, right? Where it's like, the question is a matter of ethics. Like, did you commit the crime that the law says this is a crime, right? There was definitely some other circumstances which will pull at your empathy strings.
Yeah.
And that's something that you could consider in sentencing, right?
Yeah.
But like, the fact of the matter is, like, you did it.
Guilty. Murder.
However,
Premeditated.
had that case taken place nowadays with the whole like mental health shit going on, those guys would have definitely gotten a lot more slack.
I think
so.
they said that this was one of the first uses of like a real expanded mental health defense. It was one of the first court uses of the my molestation made me do it approach, which of course has its own merits, but it just wasn't something that had been done for very long. For that reason, it was
people kill their parents, other people get their PhDs.
And the thing was, they weren't saying that the molestation made me do it. They were saying that they had an imminent fear for their life from a history of abuse. It wasn't.
Yeah, and then like the circumstances just didn't support it, because it was like, okay, you went out of your way to buy guns and you blew these people sitting down on the couch like at close range, and you spent all the money right after. Like, if you had imminent fear for your life, you could have just left and told the police they were trying to kill you and just got a restraining order because you were both over 18.
Nah, the police would have called you a pussy back in those days.
I guess, but we could have just at least left. Motherfucker, you're over 18 years old. Why are you still living at your parents' house? Like, they were just like...
The part that got me was the second trial was going on, or I think they were at the second trial, or maybe there was kind of in between, and OJ had just gotten off, and everybody was just like, fuck, now we're
they were like,
because they're coming for blood. Yeah.
That's trippy. OJ like used up the get out of jail free card that both had. As soon as OJ got off, the Menendez brothers were like, God damn it.
It was really interesting too. In the one I was watching, they had interviewed Chris Darden, and you're watching. He's just like an expert that is talking about the
Chris
case.
Darden?
He was the guy in the OJ trial. He was one of the assistant district attorneys, and I'm watching it, and then I finally clicked for me where I was like, oh yeah, he was the one who was prosecuting OJ, and he was the one like that Johnny Cochran like really laid into about the use of the N-word in the trial. That it was that guy. So when I'm watching the Menendez one, I see Chris Darden. I'm like, who is this guy? Oh yeah, I know him.
Fun fact: the Menendez brothers, at least Lyle, has had 2 wives while in jail.
2?
Like, women married him while he was in jail.
See, I think that's the part I'm about to start. The first marriage. I haven't quite gotten there yet.
It's like, I'm out here with just one wife. I'm a free man, ladies. He gets.
That's your truth.
That's your truth.
So the documentary inspired you into polygamy now?
Yes, and here's why. Crystal and I have been watching a ton of cult documentaries. Name a cult that doesn't descend into polygamy. Go.
It always happens. Always.
It's like powerful men will always want the same thing: multiple young sexual partners. Period. Every single fucking time. That's why people are like, well, it's a cult, but I'm like, polygamy. It's gonna happen. If it hasn't happened, it will, and it probably already has. Every single fucking time, bro.
It is trippy how that does seem to happen.
Man, if everyone's happy, let them live, baby. You little dick motherfucker. Virgins out here fucking cock blocking and hating on everybody else. Just shut the fuck up.
There's a Hulu series. It's called like Cults and Weird Something or Other.
Yep.
And
Strange Beliefs.
Yes, and I've been trying to watch it, and this is going to sound hard, but like they don't actually explain what happens in the cults. They just like take one person's experience and like it's just an hour of emotion splaining, which is compelling too, don't get me wrong. But I want to know what the cult was doing. I want to understand more about the actual cult. They just have like one person's really awful experience, and they don't even get into like what they believe, how people are compelled to stay with them. Like that's what I want to hear about. You know what I mean?
For sure. And the lady that hosts it, I don't like how she does it, man. She seems really fake. She seems very fake. She does the emotive listening where they're like, so anyway, I got beat half to death, and she's like, yeah. And then what happened? They're like, you don't have to acknowledge like physically with your face after people are telling you fucking macabre shit.
Yeah, one of them, I don't remember which episode it was, but it was this like it was like an organization that got like young professionals like kind of professional development and career training.
Yep.
And I don't ever remember thinking like, why is this a cult? It just seemed like overwhelmingly positive. Now, like some bad things certainly happened, and like the leader, of course, was this like weird polygamist guy who was like
my man,
branding his like initials onto.
He was the guy that said he was like the smartest person that ever lived, right?
Yeah, but like the actual organization didn't seem like it was a cult at all. It seemed like it was like people were paying for like professional development services and really getting a lot out of it. I was like, tell me about that. I want to know more about that instead of this one person story.
For sure, Marcos, you've been in a few cults. What are they like?
Nothing that crazy.
Ain't shit.
I wish.
Dude, the cults though, bro. I think of you when I watch cults because watch cult documentaries every time. You got long-haired white hoes.
I mean, say no more. When can I start?
All eager and shit, natural bodies. That's like 3 turnoffs for me right in a row. But for you,
Mark,
green light, green light, green light.
Would you have been at Waco? Would you have seen yourself there?
I mean, it depends what the harem looked like. So
it's like a visual exam. Like, nope, nah, I'm out.
Hi, paging Doc Ansel.
Yeah, that's what's up, dude. Yes. So Tiger King, Doc Ansel, his harem is straight up on fire.
Big ups.
These are like,
he's like, you get no days off, but you get breast implants.
Heavyweight champs, dude. And it's not just breast implants. These girls is thicker than thick, man. I'm telling you, Doc's got good taste, even though he's a maniacal asshole who probably killed like 1,000 tigers or whatever.
Which one was he? Was he the guy who got into the business deal with Tiger King, or was he the other guy?
The guy in South Carolina who's like has his own
with the white hair.
Yeah.
He actually knows how to answer interview questions properly. He's like, yeah, that I'm not going to get into, but what I can tell you is, and everyone else is like, well, here's what I did to incriminate myself on camera.
He definitely had
didn't give a fuck.
He definitely had the gas chamber for those tigers. You could tell. Like, you were just like, he was killing those.
Any excuse the racial stuff, but any white man that goes to India once and takes a fucking fake Indian name and starts to get a cult going, nah.
You could just stop right there. Don't join that, yeah.
You know, I don't need your tigers. I need you to call yourself Frank, or what the fuck your actual name is.
You guys watched Wild Wild Country, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've only watched half of it.
Oh man, that one's really
Brokeback Mountain.
That's not a cult thing. That's just, two guys broing out. Things get a little heated, and things shit happens. Whatever.
Yeah, shit happens.
Brovid-19. But no, watch Wild Wild Country, dude. That one's really good.
What is that about?
It's about this like Indian guru guy who he kind of creates like a community in buttfuck Oregon, and it's basically the story of how they try to expand their community, and like the buttfuck Oregons are like, no, we don't want these fuck people, and they go back and forth, and there's like a murder scandal and like all this crazy stuff. It's really compelling though. I watched it twice because I enjoyed it so much.
What did you think of what's that? Ashram? Or what is it? Bikram. What did you think of Bikram documentary?
That one was crazy too, where it's just like, why
these
do people
women
like
kill
this
themselves for one drop of my sperm? She's a lying whore. Lying whore. Why would I do this?
Dude,
line up around the block for me.
All of his claims were so ridiculous too. You know what got me? When he was talking about how he was doing weightlifting, and he said like how his weight catcher didn't catch the weight properly when he was dropping it. I was like, you have no idea what weightlifting is. Do you think there's somebody there to catch the weight after you pick it up over your head?
James.
I was like, this guy is so full of shit.
They're like,
I created weightlifting. You don't know nothing. Look at you. Your hair is stupid, and your hair smells like dog farts and hot dogs. Fuck it.
Those are all true. All true.
Man, he was great when he was like, yeah, I'm like a 3-time back-to-back India yoga national champ. And then someone's like, the guy who like trained him was like, there was no national championships of yoga in India.
There's really no competition like that.
Oh, well, I would like to make him a shit. 3, 2, 1 harem. He fucking had a harem too, bro. He straight up. Now, Marcos, you must look up to that man because he had his shot with so many yoga hoes. Holy fuck.
Mm-hmm.
White, eager.
James, you got
curious.
nice hands to put somewhere. You're going to help me massage tonight, James.
Oh.
I like the way that your hands look, and they feel very soft.
And he was like strategic with the jury selection on which women he would allow in. Oh my God.
Also, like, man, I don't want to judge people.
He had the Vegeta reader. He was like,
yeah. Power level's too low.
She's good to go. She's gullible.
So that's the thing. Like, I don't want to ever judge people because we all have made our share of bad decisions. But like, this guy's like teaching you yoga, and he's like, "Hey, come up to my hotel room at night." Like, you an adult female.
He's married.
What do you think happens in hotel rooms at night? There's no reason. There's nothing. Like if he victimizes someone, like, hey, fuck him. All 100% his fault. All the shit is 100% his fault anyway. But like, man, like I just don't know sometimes what people are thinking when they go out of their way to like for the love of God, like, hey, yeah,
Well, they
like,
put people on a pedestal, right? And that guy has the
Yeah,
illest
don't do
messiah
that.
complex.
Yeah. And they don't think that he could potentially abuse the power and influence that he has over them.
yeah, and they're like shocked you proposition them for sex, like not talking about rape's a completely different issue, but
What?
like
You don't like
just-
sex? You don't
Right,
like
yeah.
sex? I can put it in your butt. Oh,
Yeah.
you're too good for this.
It's
I'm
probably
going
what
to
he said,
release
you know,
your sacrum.
like, oof.
Oof. Ooh. Oh, sorry. On that note, I saw a new porn tag that I thought was funny. Culo grande, which I don't speak Spanish, but I'm pretty sure it means big butthole.
No, it
Is
just
it
means
butthole?
big
No,
ass.
it's big ass.
Does it mean big ass? I thought culo was like
Ah.
butthole.
That's
Culo.
ass, James.
What is it?
It's just ass. Culo is just ass. That's why
Oh,
Pitbull
How would
says
you
it in
know,
every song.
Marcos?
I always thought
You
it meant
don't even speak
asshole,
Spanish.
like your actual like sphincter.
James, you've been hearing these Latin rap songs way differently than the rest
I
of us.
have.
my
I've
friend.
always
You're
been a
"Shake
little
your
like,
asshole." You're like, I'm trying.
damn. Okay.
Oh, they're
Big
aggressive.
culo. So are they? So is that just a hashtag for big ass Latin girls, or does that apply to just big ass girls in general, people who are Latin who's searching? Marcos,
Marcos, we're
you are
asking
two
you. I don't
things.
know. I already said I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
thought this guy had a PhD in
No!
Spanish.
Are you
No,
kidding
it's
me?
just
I thought you were both Latin and fascinated by big asses. You had better answer this question.
no, it's just the big ass. That's all. Culo grande, big ass. That's it.
So on a
Plain
white
and
girl,
simple.
black girl, below grande either way.
Yeah. See,
Right. Word up. See? Well, there you go. You do say several words in Spanish. Marcos, it baffled me because I never heard you talk Spanish. And then we were at your house and there was a guy you knew who walked by and he spoke to you exclusively in Spanish and you just started going off. Blah, 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 and I was like, yo, this motherfucker speak that shit. It's crazy.
see.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow, 3:00. Yes. Okay. You're like, how's
That's
your
all
day
I
going?
can say.
Oh, yes, Mr. Israel. Mr. Israel. Okay, yeah. Hotman,
all
yeah.
right.
Hotman. Hey, Professor Hotman, how you doing, man? I know your fucking hair. You look, mira, muy pretty, you know?
All right. Next question. Probably the last one at this rate.
Oh boy.
This is a good question. How to deal with people who train with horrible range of motion, load, and technique, but are still considerably larger, causing myself to doubt my own training philosophy.
Motherfucker, who cares what other people are doing? Do you. Do the best you that you can be.
I
doesn't matter.
I almost unleashed Black Marcos on this
Oh.
recording, so I'm going to keep it to myself because it wasn't going to be a nice answer. But basically, stop being a little bitch.
Oh,
Yo,
damn. Yeah,
respect.
stop focusing on what other people are doing in the gym. Like, like people are always going to be bigger, stronger, faster, whatever than you. People are going to have better or worse technique than you at any given time. All you can do is just be the best you. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing there. Like, I will never have legs like Dr. Mike. Regardless, we have a very similar set of knowledge. Doesn't mean I will ever have legs like Dr. Mike. I just won't. It doesn't matter, right? So it's just one of those things. Like, you just got to go in there with the mindset of like, I'm here to do business for myself. Doesn't matter what any of these dumbass bros are doing.
Also, genetics. Just keep this in the back of your head. Genetics and time spent training and eating are the two biggest factors by far for jackness. So a lot of times you'll see an IFB pro that has amazing genetics. They've been training consistently for 15 years like a fucking idiot. That's why he's big, man. So when you look at that he's training wrong, you can do better and have a better efficiency of training yourself, less likely to get injured, and maximize your own potential. But like a lot of people think, and this goes into like the opposite mentality of like nut hugging and dick swinging. Motherfuckers think like, oh man, like Ronnie Coleman did it this way, I should too. Yeah, like you really think you're gonna look like Ronnie Coleman if you do your rows or the swing? Is that why he has a big back? Because he does that?
Right.
Like that, like rowing and swinging around is why everyone walking around has a back like Ronnie. Oh wait, nobody does. Maybe it's just because Ronnie had amazing genetics. I love getting the bros to fuck with each other too. They're like, man, Dorian's the shit, underhand bent rows. Be like, Ronnie did him overhand. What do you think about that? They're like, well, they both had great backs. Ronnie had a bigger back. Do you think it's because of why he trained? He trained less meticulously than Dorian. Do you think meticulousness is a bad idea? You don't even know what you think. Like guys will be so impressed by other motherfuckers who are jacked and big ass physiques that they'll just drop all logic altogether and just maybe never pick it up. Like, oh man, what's his name doesn't like that? Like, yeah, right on, man. Like maybe if you sucked his dick, you can get some shit out of there and make you bigger. You probably would too.
Some protein.
At least it would taste good.
Some protein.
And the dicks are cool looking. I mean, they're great shape. I like the veins.
But not
in any
right
case,
now. Social distancing.
Social distancing. Then when COVID's over, you can go get to sucking all the dicks. But it's kind of like stop nut riding people. Number one. Number two, understand that
Dick
they have
riding.
some wisdom. dick riding, whatever, same shit. So, stop, not swinging and dick riding, and then at the same time, realize that they probably have some wisdom and a lot of the shit they're doing is right, but not all the shit they're doing is right. So pick from the experts and logic and reason what is a good idea. Take from the bros what you think is good ideas of what they have. Like, here's something the bros do well. They train really hard. You know, a lot of bros like push it really hard. That's a good thing, right? Bros talk about consistency. They're really consistent, like meals and meals and workouts and workouts. That's really good. Bros talk about commitment. That's really good. But like range of motion and shit like that, you know, a lot of them is just fucking giant stupid animals, and that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave that shit where it is. Like, you're not supposed to be copying people verbatim anyway, so take what you can and leave what you won't. And it's funny because you also don't want to be this person left with a fucking dick in your mouth at the end of the shuffle. Here's what I mean by that.
You don't want to be the last one in the bukkake pile.
100%. Or maybe you do. Then you're very fortunate because there's always demand for that person. But you know, people are talking about like, oh, there's all these reasons they were giving for why bodybuilders train with partial reps. All of a sudden, the last 5 years, Oxygen Gym coming up big time, producing all these champions. They train with almost exclusively full range of motion. What now, motherfucker? Go tell Big Randy he squats too deep or he fucking takes his dumbbell presses too low. Go tell him that shit. You say, oh, you'd be better off with partials because Marcus Roll did partials and he got better like that. He'd be like, who? Oh, wait, that guy that I'm bigger and leaner than? You'd be like, shit. Like, you don't want to be the person not like, imagine not hugging how they train football players in the 1950s or some shit like that. Be like, yeah, don't do weights, man, because they slow you down. In the 1990s, you look like an embarrassed piece of shit, but you probably didn't think that far ahead. So do what you think is right. Take from people the wisdom you think, but for shit that you know is probably wrong, don't sweat it, man. Just because remember, genetics are super important. You don't have their genetics, and you might not have the 15 or 20 years that they spent training. If you have the genetics, or if you do, training time, somebody like Jared Feather, for example, this motherfucker's sitting pretty close to me. Jared Feather has the genetics, and like, you know, when he was a little kid or whatever, people used to say like, oh, you shouldn't train like that, like he was trying to train scientifically and shit, and they're like, oh, but the bros do it this way. Now he's bigger than those people. Now those people, when he's at the Arnold, they come up and they ask for his fucking autograph. Like, how, you know, it would be fucked up if he sold out to the bros and started doing half reps, and then later was like, oh yeah, I'm big, I can go back to full range of motion. Fuck that. Stick to your guns, do what's right, and if you have really good genetics, eventually you'll be more jacked than those people. They can fuck off. Like, I used to be fucking small, and now I'm fucking jacked, and you know, used to be like bros would be like, yeah, but you're small. They would literally tell me that in debates. Now they're like, well, yeah, but you're small. And I'm like, you know, somebody posts a picture of me and they're like, I guess, well, fuck science. And it's like, sweet, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, totally. And also, like, let's not presume that you're out there trying to police other people and what they're doing. Like, let them do their own thing,
fuck
and
'em.
mind your own fucking business too. Like, sorry to put it that way, but also like, nobody cares what you think about what they're doing. So
there's always going to be someone smarter, richer, bigger dick, and more in shape than you. So just do the best you can for yourself. Fuck everybody else. Probably, yeah.
Like Dan Bilzerian. Damn you.
That dude ain't got shit besides a nice beard.
He what do you guys think of Dan Bilzerian? Because I can never quite tell. Is he independently wealthy or did he inherit a bunch of shit?
No, Daddy had a lot of money.
I think he inherited
scams and schemes and shit.
So he's not a productive member of society.
Well, I think he has like Insta money now. I think he has like influencer type money. But yeah, I think he was made from inheritance.
What I can't understand is how people seem to consistently think that he's so wonderful and consume his content. It's like the most novelty shit I've ever seen. He's like, here's me with an AK-47 on a private plane with 3 strippers. People are like, wow. And the next post, like, here's me with an M4 and a fucking Hummer with 8, you know, private lap dancers. And people are like, wow. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's the same shit. Like, there's only so many cool Insta pictures you've seen until you're like, all right, I'm not 12 years old anymore. Like, I don't give a fuck what Dan Bilzerian
Well, the
does.
bros
like,
don't think that. The bros that do partials love that dude.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck. He's like, now I'm shooting drones with my gun. And you're like, you're not even a good technical shooter. Like, I'd rather watch people who could shoot stuff really well. I don't know, man. It's just like, I guess what I'm saying is, I wonder how you guys feel about it. Like, people that like live vicariously through other people's cool lives, like, oh my God, his life is so cool. Like, yeah, I guess, but he doesn't even travel to like super exotic locations or like I can understand. What was that motherfucker that unfortunately committed suicide? It was really sad. What was his name?
Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain, like, talk about a guy you want to follow, you know, on social media or whatever. Like, holy shit, he went everywhere. He talked about it. He had something to say. But like the Dan Bilzerian types, like, okay, like, great, you're like blowing up, you know, stripper balloons in Hawaii with a fucking Magnum. You know, like,
that just made me think of Killer Clowns from Outer Space with the balloons with the person inside that they were like harvesting. a stripper balloon.
That's it. That's, he might as well be doing that shit. And it's kind of like, once the novelty wears off, what do you got? And the answer is like, what do you guys think? Am I just?
I think it's just like it's a very immature thing to aspire to, where it's like, here's somebody with like immense wealth and just does like, clearly they're staged pictures too. Like
all of them.
You'd be naive to think that this is what he's actually doing day to day. I'm sure he's doing more productive things for whatever that means for him, right? That might mean just
editing all that shit
hookers
down
and stuff, whatever. I don't know.
The next shoot, yeah.
Yeah, but like that's just a snapshot of him highlighting the best things that he had going on at that moment, And I think like people who draw a lot of inspiration from that are being naive. I think it's okay to have like a little bit of that, where you're like, oh, it would be fun to fuck around like that every now and again. It would be interesting, but I think if you are really like, man, I want to live my life like that, like you got some deep thinking to do. You need to become more conscious of your life.
I've seen so many like Instagram dudes, they'll like copy that same model, and whether it's fucking the guy that's posting all the keto shit with his shirt off and taking pictures with Instagram famous people, next thing you know, motherfucker has 300,000 followers, 500,000, 1 million followers now, and people just eat that shit up, even though it's the same trope over and over again, because it's just easy for people, and there's more normal people out there who are probably not happy or content with themselves. And instead of looking at us 3 doctors and saying like, wow, I should be more like those guys, they're like going to go for the fucking fugazi shit. And I don't know Dan Bilzerian from a hole in the wall, but I don't know, maybe he's a normal guy who just posts his shit just to fucking take advantage of all the dumbasses who follow him.
Good for him.
Then you deserve that shit, yeah.
Yeah. Consumer beware.
But I don't fuck with that shit. Guys paying a whole bunch of chicks and to fucking hang out with him, guns, and he's my beard and my fucking boat. Like, that's just kind of cheesy to me. It's gonna be like 3 people at his funeral. He probably has to pay for it. So vaya con Dios, motherfucker.
Well, you don't need your money anymore, I guess.
Daddy's money.
Right.
That was all his dad's money.
Marcos, you sound a little salty about it.
I don't give a fuck. I just like being people like that always, because all it's gonna take, it's a fucking, oh hey, from one client, have you seen the Dan Bilzerian workout? Should I do that? And I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he hasn't posted a lot of fitness stuff.
He's friends with Jason Haw.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's so jacked, it makes no sense.
I love that dude. That's the thing. So that's why I'm like, you can't have a cool dude be friend with a piece of shit, I think. But then I'm friends with Mike, so who knows? But
which one of us is cool?
Me.
Right.
Me.
I can see that coming.
James told me.
There's actually like a poll feature now in Zoom here. I wonder if I could do a poll of, is Mike cool?
Well, it would be like only to the Zoom. It's only the 3 of us.
We'll see. Is Mike cool? Type your question here. Is Mike cool?
Going to literally just the 3 of us.
No. Fuck no.
What the fuck? I'm voting for me, man. I'm like a presidential candidate to support myself in the election.
Did it go?
No. I ain't got nothing.
Shit. Bullshit. Voter fraud.
Here we go.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. All right. I'm going to screenshot this so I can put it on Instagram because y'all motherfuckers.
Host and panelists cannot vote.
What?
Marcos, get in the frame here. God damn it. Y'all suck. Well, I'm going to say, oh, wait, it's just no and fuck no? No, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because it's at least a moderated position. No leaves some nuance. It's like, no, but it's not.
All right,
fuck.
so we have 1 vote for no so far.
Did you vote yet, Marcos?
I did. I tried to fucking click fuck no and it didn't work.
It's a rigged election. Thanks,
Oh,
Stalin.
man. All right, I'm going to end this polling period.
Okay.
Looks like we got 1 vote for no.
Bane.
Damn it, I'm the
Is
only
Mike
one
cool?
who voted.
Yes or no? Bane, what do you think about Mike?
Oh.
Sucks.
Who's cutie?
Yeah.
Your dog has
Fuck him,
ADD,
right?
man.
The dog's adorable.
All right, gentlemen. I think that's probably about it, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Marcos, you got anything you want to plug or any announcements you want to make?
No butt plugs, and that's it, man. Vaya con Dios. Live
Mike?
long and prosper. Oh, watch The Expanse. That's it. You're welcome.
We're going to have to talk about Demon Slayer one of these days, too. I feel like we skipped that over somehow.
Guys, for the next Q&A for next week or whatever, let me just remind me to throw up on the Q&A anime so you motherfuckers could nerd out on that shit. Because a lot of people have anime
That'll
questions
be
for us.
like 8 hours.
Great. I'll turn off my feed and fall asleep.
Cool.
Mike, any plugs?
I don't know. No, catch me on the gram, folks.
Okay. I'll plug if you guys have serious questions that you are sports science related, we have a weekly webinar, and I actually just started a new one where I do more sports specific questions. So check out the RP YouTube for Mike and I do a weekly webinar where you can ask us anything, sport, fitness, training, recovery, nutrition, all those things. There's another one on there specifically for sports. So plenty of opportunities for real questions. I just spat everywhere. Fuck. Gross. And I think that's it for this time. So I think we're going to sign off. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Sasha Gray.
I don't know where the stop button is. Fuck.
Bye.
Where's the stop record button?
Stop it.
Where did it go? Oh, it changed. It changed.